So this morning I'm just going to pot on these jalapeno chilies. I'm going to put there's only 3 of them that I'm going to put in this little quarter tray or 5th tray or whatever it is, and because they're just getting their second leaves coming through, so it's an ideal time to do it. Just make a depression in here, big enough for taking. This is a mix I made up yesterday. The best tool to use for this, let's take this out. It's a little spoon, so I don't have to disturb the other ones. Now these two are pretty together, so I'm going to have to tease them apart. There we go. Get them quite deep now. I'll be taking these back home and putting them back on the windowsill. That's those 3 sorted. I won't be touching these yet. Say these, 2 of them have got obstructed by the seed head, but it's cayenne chili. I mean, I might only get the 1 out of this, but it's not quite ready yet, so these are going back home. So I'll just fill up around these and firm them a little bit. Firm around the outside and give them a bit of a shake. This will go in my wee bag to go back home. I'll sit in the bottom of here till I'm ready, together with the other one. Put these in the bag. They're all going back home. Change my mind about that one. And the next thing on the agenda is to pot up these. These are my Bedfordshire Champions, and I'm going to put them in these 2.5-inch pots. Very similar. I'll take the best 15. I've only got 13 of these pots, so I'm going to have to use a couple of odd ones to go with it. And I'll just use these spare pots. Square pots, I should say, not spare. So, that's not too bad. One. Actually, I'll take the whole thing out of here. one. I'll firm these around and top them up with compost once I've got some of the other ones in. As I say, I'll just take the best 15. Put this little homemade support in. So these are Bedfordshire Champion. Not sure you can see these on my lens. Let me have a look. Maybe just. Right, I've got so you can see what I'm doing. I'm just going to top these three up. Like so. And these will go in just a little water bath here, like that, and I'll do the same with the rest of them and I'll get back to you later. So that's them all potted up now. I do have some left over. I've left them in the previous tray, and they'll just go up on my hanging shelf here, and if any of these keel over for any reason, I've got some spare. So, but I mentioned in the previous video that I'm doing two methods of growing onions from seed this year. The first method is one that kind of the same as I do for leeks, just grow them in one pot all together and allow them to get to a size where they can be planted out. You know, you need a deep pot for that with decent rich soil, and to feed them a bit and to trim them. I'm keeping those in the house at the moment, but these are just going in my cold frame here. This is the more traditional way to do it from seed. You just start them off, prick them out and pot them up as they go. We might get another pot on before I plant these out, but we'll see how they go. This might be okay for them. As I say, the soil, the compost I put them in is my own mix of my own compost mixed with some spent compost and added a little bit of feed to. So we'll see how they go. I've bottom watered these, as you've seen, and these are going to just go straight into my cold frame that's inside the polytunnel. Right, let's get these in. I transplanted some peas into this yesterday and mistakenly just left them on the floor of the polytunnel, and of course the mice have been in and decided to chomp them down, so I'm going to have to sort them out later, but I picked them back up off the floor now. So there are my red barons at the front, and the ones I've just done today, the Bedfordshire Champions at the back. Hope you can hear me over the church bells. What I'm going to attempt now is pretty difficult for someone as ham-fisted as me. These are the poppy seedlings. They're minute. I'm going to try and pot these on now, because to be honest with you, I made a mistake putting them in a little pot like this because I keep knocking it over, and I think I've killed at least half of them already by doing that. So let's get them into something a bit more stable. I can actually see the true leaves coming on them now, so hopefully they should be good to pot on. Well, that one went okay. I'm not sure if you can see the detail in this, but they are so small. Of course, I've sieved this compost so that to ensure that I don't crush the stems. Not sure I've got a good one here or not. I think I've got 8, so we'll see how it goes. I've actually got a couple more on that. See, there's one I got knocked over this morning. Just put into one side. Oh, this one is so small. I can't even pick it up. Not sure I should have attempted that one. Anyway. Not sure if I've got root on that one, so I'm going to try for, there's a couple more here, there's a tiny one here, and I think I'll probably head off that one, the root off that one, by being ham-fisted again. Right, that one's got some roots. It's hardly got any top. I don't hold out much hope for these, but you have to try, don't you? Anyway, I don't know if you can see them, but they are my attempt at some poppies this year from seed. And as for these others, I'm just going to stick them on the shelf, and I doubt if they'll grow at all now, but I always give them a chance. So these are going to go back on the shelf, and these will go in my little hole frame here. Well, actually no, I'll put them in my greenhouse, so that in the greenhouse, in the secondary greenhouse that's in the greenhouse, and that gives them a little bit more protection. So I think I'll do that once I give them a bit of water here. And a bottom water, because if I try and top water them, I'll just decimate them. Okay, thank you. So I've got the poppies in here now. They're going to be as protected as they can be with the heat from my candle heater. And if they're stood up tomorrow, I hope they're going to make it. It's actually quite warm, but it feels cold today. Temperature says it's about 9 degrees on that one, and this one says it's 12. Well, that one's against the glass, so that's probably colder on that point there. But even so, I decided to use one of my lard candles in my inner greenhouse, in my main greenhouse, and that keeps it nice and warm in there for the seedlings. I don't know if you can see, but I've got these little blocks that this pot, I'll sit over the top of it. I can't do it with this in my hand, with this phone in my hand, so I'm going to have to stop the video and put the pot on the top. When I cover it over, has that inch of space below where the blocks are providing airflow, so underneath, and that's enough for the oxygen to keep the candles lit. Now this should last at least 3 days, probably getting on for 4 days. It lasts really well. I put the pot on, and then I've got a little bit of a crop that sits over the hole. It doesn't block the hole at the top, but it just gives it that little bit extra heat, I feel. Yeah, I've put the crock on the top now. I can already feel the heat coming out the top of that. So that's the way I utilise my candle. So this is what a candle looks like after 3 days of burning down. Don't know if you can see that. But you can see the height of the original lard, and then it goes all the way down to the bottom. 3 days burn.